Hey guys!
Welcome to HC My name is Tatum.
And I'm Leah.
Today we celebrate 1 year of being HC Youth.
Bro, Tatum, what has been your favorite part from this year at HC Youth?
Oh man, everything is so fun and awesome, but Heart of Worship was one of my favorite nights.
That was a good one.
Yeah, like everybody just worshiping, it's the best.
I agree. I would have to say my favorite is probably summer camp. There was so many awesome things that happened there.
I totally forgot about that one. We have a lot of fun stuff planned for you tonight, and if you're tuning in, please leave a comment and let us know where you're watching from. We would love to give you a shout out and a chance to win some cool merch.
And share with your friends and karate chop that like button down below.
Karate kick it!
Whoa. Do that too. If you're new to HC Youth, we believe in being real.
It's easy to be real when you know that you are recognized, enough, accepted, and loved. Wow, we have a lot of students here. Hey Brady, what do we have going on out there?
All right, thank you, Tatum and Leah. We're gonna go see what people's favorite moment from the 1 year in Hope City was. Sir, can you tell us what your favorite moment or memory from Hope City Youth was?
Definitely. Last year's camp. Yeah, that night when we did the lip singing battle. Yeah, that was easily the best moment.
Thank you, Aiden. Ma'am, can you tell us what your favorite moment from Hope City Youth was?
My favorite moment is probably doing individual groups. Yeah, it's my favorite moment.
All right then. Marcus, can you tell us what your favorite moment from Hope City Youth is?
Oh, my favorite moment. I mean, I gotta say camp. Like that's like the best moment.
Can you specify which camp? I'm sorry.
This year. Last day.
Keep playing, please. Keep playing. Can you tell us what your favorite moment from Hope City Youth is?
Every time Pastor Matt teaches.
All right, Charlie, can you tell us what your favorite moment was from Hope City Youth? That was probably my favorite as well. This is not your typical question. You're not going to be ready for this one. What's your favorite Hope City Youth moment?
Ooh. Oh man, that's tough. Maybe not this year, but summer camp last year when I was a senior, when I was a student.
Is there a specific moment?
Dude, I think just, getting time to bond with my the friends that I have now. Some of my closest friends I went to camp with. That was like kind of our moment where we got real close. So just being able to spend time with them and learn about God with them and worship with them.
All right, guys, that's enough from me. Gonna put this one back to you.
Thank you, Brady. That was awesome.
And again, we want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching and whoever has been watching through the past year. We're about to have a huge night of fun, and we want to show you a recap of the past year. You ready, Leah?
I'm ready. And remember,
Youth matter.
Tonight is going to be great. You were chosen for a specific reason to go through that season for this time. God chose you from the beginning to say they're going to be the ones that I want. This is a generation that's going to make a difference and an impact not just in the city, but in this world. That starts with you. No matter where you're at in life, some of you feel like you've been lost in the crowd. Some of you are probably sitting in the back and you're thinking, no one ever sees me. I'm comfortable where I'm at because no one ever notices me. And maybe you walk through here just thinking, maybe today's the day someone will see me. Jesus sees you and he's moving. stop Jesus from reaching you. He's moving right now. Nothing will stop him. Nothing will stop him from reaching you. Are you looking to the world for hope? Or are you going to look to the Word? It's amazing when you see what Jesus can do. He's coming for you. He's going to reach you. There's no woods that's too scary for him. No hill that's too hard for him to climb. No valley that's too low for him to reach down and stoop down and pick you up with his mighty right hand and say, you are mine. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. We need this generation to go out there and be soldiers. And then when I wrestled through high school and then the military. I got a phone call from the military and I went to go wrestle for the Coast Guard. What we do is we wrestle other people from the Navy, the Marines, all these things. It's really cool. And I remember I was this big old macho tough dude on the outside. And when I got to boot camp, I got off the bus and I had this big old dude cussing in my face. He said I was moving too slow. Matt doesn't move slow. Get out of my face, man, you know? And you know what he does? He gets right next to my ear and he says, your parents don't love you, that's why you're here. You know, that guy had no idea I was already struggling with that. That penetrated my heart more than anything else I've ever heard in the world. In this song, he said, there's no shadow you won't light up. I was living in a shadow. The shadow of being unloved and unrecognized and thinking that I will never be good enough. And that's a battle that I think you youth face, is you're trying to constantly compare yourselves to what the world says is the right thing. We have Instagram and TikTok and all of these things that we look at to see what's cool and what's trending, and that's what we're craving, is the attention that maybe my video or my picture will get the attention I'm finally looking for, or I will get the followers I'm finally craving. But imagine if you put that time and concentration into something that never goes away and has already seen you and recognized you right where you're at. It reminds me of Exodus. In the story of Exodus, you see this guy named Moses who was he came in as a slave. He was born as this little baby. He was supposed to be dead, but his mother in faith put him in this river, and the Egyptians picked him up. The Egyptians were supposed to kill him, but they looked at him and had mercy on him because God had a plan. And Moses knew this, and he grew older. And it says this in Exodus chapter 2, verse 11. It says, many years later, when Moses had grown up, he went out to visit his own people, the Hebrews. And he saw how hard they were forced to work because they were slaves with the Egyptians. It said during his visit, he saw an Egyptian beating one of his fellow Hebrews. After looking in all directions to make sure no one was watching, Moses killed the Egyptian and hid the body in the sand. This dude's trying to stand up for his friends and his people, trying to do the right thing. He believes God's put him in this position to save the people. He says, listen, I can save, I got you. You're getting beat up, you're getting hurt, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna rescue you. And he killed someone, he buried him in the sand. He's thinking he's doing the right thing. It says this, the next day when Moses went out to visit his people again, he saw two Hebrew men fighting. So his own people were fighting against each other now. And he said to them, why are you beating up your friend? Moses said to the one who had started the fight, and the man replied, who appointed you to be our prince and judge? Who are you? You guys ever struggle with that thought in your mind? Who are you? Maybe you look in the mirror and you don't think that you're pretty enough, that you're good looking enough, that you have the right house, that you have the right family, that you have the right people that you're living with, that you have the right finances, that you're at the right school, you're at the right city, that you're at the right church, because you're thinking, who am I? No one will notice me. No one knows what I'm hurting with. No one knows what I'm struggling with because I'm living in the shadow.
And then you start putting walls up to people. And even though you've heard people tell you, I'm proud of you and I love you, you've been in the shadow for so long that those walls got so thick, so hard to kick down that you don't let anyone in anymore. And you've noticed that it's hard for you to have a deep relationship with someone because you're afraid to get hurt again. And then he went into hiding. He was scared because he realized, oh my gosh, not even my own people like me. I'm all alone. And he took off. He ran. He ran away. And in chapter 3, we see this. Moses is much older. It says years passed. One day Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest. He led the flock far into the wilderness and came to Sinai, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush, was engulfed in flames. It didn't burn up. This is amazing, Moses said to himself. Why isn't that bush burning up? I must go see it. He's with these sheep and he looks out. He's in the middle of the wilderness all by himself, always probably still thinking, who am I? I'm all by myself. No one knows I'm out here. If only someone knew. And he looks over and he sees this burning bush, but it's not like burning up, but it's on fire. And he's like, what is this light? I got to go to it. And maybe that's why some of you are here. Someone invited you, and it's not a mistake that you're here. You noticed that there was a light that they had, or there was something that was interesting and intrigued you about it, and it led you here. You said, I want to go check it out. Okay, maybe I got invited. I saw something on Instagram or whatever it was. I'm going to go check it out. I don't believe in that stuff. Or maybe I'm not going to be noticed again. It's going to let me down again, but I'm still going to go. And it says this in verse 4. When the Lord saw Moses coming to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the bush, Moses, Moses. See, God didn't speak until he had Moses' attention. He didn't say something to him until he noticed him drawing to him. The Bible tells us, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. For those of you that are hurting and feel distant, you feel alone and that no one cares about you, no one loves you, and sometimes you've heard about this God and you're like, God, where are you? If you're real, reveal yourself to me. But the question is really, where are you? You notice that God noticed him coming to him. And God notices you right now where you're at. Maybe you're coming to him physically into this room. Maybe you're coming to him physically with your heart right now or with your attention. And now he's going to speak to you. And he's saying, I'm right here. Yes, listen, this is true. This is real. You felt alone. You felt abandoned. You felt hurt. Yes, I know that you feel that way, but I'm right here. Yes, I got your attention. Keep hearing. Keep coming to me. Come on. And God told him to take off his sandals for he's standing on holy ground. And when Moses heard about this, he covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Maybe some of you have been afraid to come to church or afraid to let God into your life because you're afraid of what he's going to see. Maybe it's because of the labels that you've been given or the way that you've been living your life, that you know that the way you've been living your life is wrong, and you're afraid for God to come and look and examine you. But the thing with our hearts and our minds is that, yes, we're sinners. We mess up all the time. My life is a mess. My life is dirty. My life before Christ is dirty too. I really thought no one could love me because of all the bad stuff that I did. And guess what? I still do bad stuff and I mess up. But there's hope. Let God look at you, because when you look at him, you see what he sees. And this is what he's saying. God says, now go. I'm sending you back. Go back to Pharaoh. You must lead the people out. See, Moses was right there. And what is the last thing that they said to him? Who are you? And he ran away, and God says, no, go back. I'm sending you. I'm going with you. And check out Moses' reply. Verse 11 in chapter 3, but Moses protested to God, who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt? Does that sound familiar? Who am I? Maybe that's been echoing in his head for 40 years, thinking, who am I that anyone would dare speak to me, would call to me, would care if I looked at them, would pay attention to me? Who am I? I've messed up so many times. Who am I? He's been carrying that. And maybe some of you have been carrying that. Who am I? Who am I? And God just totally ignores it. In verse 12, he says, God answered, I will be with you. He is with you right now. He's with you when you go back home. He goes before you. He's behind you. He's all around you. He will go with you. He never will fail you. And the amazing thing about God is he loves you so much that where you're at right now, your sin and all the things that you've done, the shadow that you've lived in, he's lit it up. He's come in there. He's took away the shadow. He's climbed the highest mountain. He knocks down those doors. He doesn't matter. Nothing can hold him back except if you have to walk towards him. Listen to the call. He sent his son Jesus to die for you exactly where you're at. And on that cross, he sucked up all your sins, your guilt, your shame, even the lies people have said, the lies that have been echoing in your head and in your heart. They're up on the cross. He died for them. He put them to shame in front of everyone. He died, and when he rose again, those didn't come up with him. He rose giving you hope of a future that when you look to the cross, you look to him, the sacrifice that he did. You are made new, and you can become a child of the King of Kings. It says this in John 1, verse 12. It says, but to all who believed in him and accepted him, he gave the right to become children of God. They are reborn. Not with the physical birth resulting from human passion or plan, but a birth that comes from God. Some of you maybe aren't going home to a family. Maybe you're not going home to a dad or a mom or a grandma or a grandpa. And maybe some of you don't have that figure in your role. But guess what? When you give your life to the Lord, you gain a whole family and a father that will never leave you or forsake you, that never stops loving you, that never stops pursuing you, that never stops ever at whatever it takes to show you that he's there and that he's real. The biggest battle that you're gonna face is the lies that people tell you and the lies that the enemy is putting in your mind saying, who am I? I'm not worthy of God. I'm not worthy to be someone's friend. I'm not worthy to be real. I'm not worthy to be myself around my friends. Who am I? The biggest lie you're gonna face is what the world's telling you of how you need to live. The world's telling you what you need to look like, how to act, the things to say. But Christ says, I did it all for you. You just get to be you, and I want to live with you. And come and follow me, walk with me, and I'll show you this new path that you can walk. And I will call you friend. He gets to call you friend. Maybe some of you in here are craving that. You don't have to fight this battle on your own. It's been bought. It's been done. It's over. Jesus said on the cross, it is finished. Every single thing that you're going through, the hurt, the pain, the loneliness, it has been paid in full on a cross. And he has these scars still on his hands. And one day, when we get to see him, he's going to say, look, I carried it for you. I got you. You don't have to carry the scars anymore. He carries them for you. It's all done. You don't have to face those battles on your own. Christ fought the battle, and the greatest battle ever won was on a cross. The greatest battle that's ever been won was on a cross. And you no longer have to face the battle on your own. Remember where your help comes from. Remember that you are royalty, that you are a son and daughter of the King of Kings. All you have to do is let go of what the world has said, let go of what your emotions tell you, what your past has said, because there's a future ahead of you. There's a future to look forward to, and that future is Christ. He will renew your mind. He will walk with you and change the way that you even view yourself. Times you're going to think, I'm not worthy, or who am I? He says, who are you? I'll tell you, I'm with you. You're my friend. You're my child. I will never leave you. And what I want to do right now is just bow our heads and close our eyes. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to, but just put your head down. Think of what God's trying to stir in your heart this evening. Maybe there's been some lies that have been told about you, some labels that you've had of a past that you've had. Maybe it's something that you see in the mirror that echoes back. And it's hard for you to fight that battle. It's hard for you to see how God sees you. This is a battle that you will face. This is what the world says. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to doubt that God really loves you, that you can be loved. But I'm telling you that the greatest love of all time was a sacrificial one that was done on a cross, once and for all. And he died, but our God's so amazing that he lives forever. He rose again, conquering death and sin, so that when we look to him, we have a hope in heaven. So even when you have those shadow moments, he lights it up because he says, you have a future with me forever that will never go away. And with your heads down, I want to pray for this generation. I want to pray for this youth that's in here, that's struggling the way that I struggle. And I'm so excited that God got to work in my life, that he rescued me. He tore down one of the hardest hearts of all. And I get to stand here in front of you saying, God did it for me. He could do it for you too. I'm the worst of them all, and He did it for me. There is hope for you. And that hope is found in Jesus. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to not feel loved, to be alone, and to think, man, if only you knew. Yes. And I can say the same thing, if only you knew, but that's the cool thing is Jesus does know, and He died for it. There's nothing so bad that you've done that He did not die for it. He died for it. He loves you exactly where you're at right now, your flaws and all. The Bible tells us that the thoughts of you are more precious than there are grains of sand, that you are actually His masterpiece, that you are His child. That's never going to go away. So with your heads down, and if you would like some prayer, just put your hand up. If you want me to pray for you this evening, I'm going to pray for you. If you can put your hand up, I'm going to pray for you. Maybe it's something you're struggling with, the way you view yourself. Maybe it's even your walk with the Lord right now, and like, it could be better. It could be better. But I just need you, Lord. The home life has been tough. My friends have been tough. And the things I'm struggling with have been tough. The way I think about myself or what I'm thinking about has been tough. I just could use some prayer, man. I want to pray for you. Yeah, I see your hands. You're not alone. You're not alone. You can put your hands down and let me pray for you, students. Lord, thank you so much for these students, these youth that you brought here to Surprise, Arizona, to come to HC Youth this evening. And maybe they're watching online. And yeah, I know that you see them on the other side of that screen. Lord, I ask that you heal hearts tonight, that you see those hands. You already saw them before they rose them, but you see those hands, Lord, and that these students, when they leave here tonight, that they feel encouragement that comes from you, that maybe they made a new friend, that that friend knows you, and that they start to talk to each other, and they get to tell each other how much you love them, that they're reminded of your love. Maybe there's a leader that got to meet a student tonight, and that leader gets to check up on that student. May the students leave here knowing how much that they recognize that they're enough, and that they're accepted, and that they're loved, and that all comes from you. Lord, I ask that if there's students that don't know you and want a relationship with you, that right now in their hearts are saying, I want you. Yes, I need that. Lord, see those hearts tonight. The ones that just want to restore that hope and that joy and that relationship with you. See those hearts. May you protect their ears, protect their eyes from the things that this world shows them. Protect their ears from what the world says to them, it says about them. And may they have ears to hear how you call them your child. You call them a friend. You call them redeemed. You call them restored. You call them loved. You call them to you, Lord. May they hear your voice and your voice alone. May you restore relationships, Lord. May you renew the foundation under their feet. And may they come to know you more and more each and every week, each and every day. And may they set the city on fire for you, to go and encourage others, to tell others how much they're loved by you, that you came and died on a cross for their pain, for their shame, for their guilt, for their home life, Lord, everything that you died for. Help people to know that, to know how much they are loved right where they're at, that there's nothing that we can do to earn it, but it was already bought on a cross from you. We love you, Lord, and ask this in your name. Amen.